Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone had a good weekend and is back rested and recharged and ready to tackle the week as I am. Now let's talk about MOG, because MOG is quietly heating up. It is up 11% on the day today, vastly outperforming most other memes. Now Ethereum is also hot, as are other ETH memes like SPX 6900, but MOG is performing the best of all. So in today's video, we're going to talk about, is there specific news or rumors about MOG that is contributing to the increase, or is it more of just sort of piggybacking off ETH memes being hot in general? And before we go any further, first some big news. BTCC Exchange, they just turned 14, and to celebrate their 14th anniversary, they're doing what's called an anniversary badge campaign. Now BTCC, this is my go-to crypto exchange. They're fully available for people in the USA like myself and everywhere else. No VPN or KYC is needed. If you go through my referral link down at the top of the description area right there, you get up to $10,000 in bonuses. Now, as for the 14th year anniversary campaign, it revolves around these things called badges. The campaign goes for 2 weeks, starts today, goes through July 1st. During those 2-week period, if you perform a bunch of tasks such as deposit a certain amount of money, trade a certain amount of money, follow some socials, etc., then you earn a badge, and then you also immediately unlock $140 in bonuses. And more importantly, once you have your badge, then some campaigns on BTCC will only be geared towards people with badges going forward. So definitely check this out. Now let's get back into MOG. Some price action. Here is the 24-hour chart. It is looking good. As you can see, MOG is up 11.5% on the day. That is quite a bit for a near $400 million market cap coin. Obviously, the whole market is up. We've been seeing this a lot lately. Sunday afternoon into Monday into Tuesday, the market's been pumping. And then the end of the week, Friday, Saturday-ish, the market has been dumping. People are just kind of focused on the weekend and not really in front of the charts. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But still, MOG is outperforming most other projects. So we're going to sort by meme category and coin market cap. We're going to keep it on all chains, and then let's sort in descending order by 24-hour returns, the best performers at the top. So we're looking at this middle column right here, and there is MOG up 11.5%. So MOG is statistically the 11th best performing meme of the day across all chains, all sizes, big and small. Also interesting to note that Sundog is the second best performing meme of the day across all chains. That is Tron's biggest meme. Tron memes were hot a year ago, last summer in August, then they dropped off. Could they be making a comeback again this year? I don't know. It's doubtful, but it's worth watching at least. But let's stick with MOG. So let's see, what was the MOG team up to this weekend? So they were celebrating Father's Day yesterday afternoon in front of the grill. The night before, Saturday, they were working the late shift. Then Saturday afternoon, they were DJing a set in the mountains. And then Friday, they were just generally mogging, driving their car fast. A very sort of eclectic and diverse weekend for the MOG team. So it doesn't look like there's any new developments with MOG, which is contributing to the rise of today and yesterday. But let's see what the community thinks. And there are some fire tweets from the MOG army like this one. Long MOG, some entries are technical, others are spiritual. This one is divine. I just can't argue with that. Poetically written. Great tweet. Here's another one. MOG is the first meme I've ever bought that has not gone below my entry price. So that's tough to do. A lot of times I'll be right with a meme. I'll buy it. Eventually, a week later, it'll go up and I'll be in profit. But the first couple days, it's down, it dips, and that is just really stressful. You start to question the trade and your rationale and the timing. So props to this guy for just perfectly timing his entry price. Here's another one. I don't know why, but it kind of looks like SPX whales are starting to rotate into MOG. Not sure what's going on. This is not based on any metrics or anything concrete, other than just if you look at the SPX chart, the last couple days, it is down. Now, if you look at the MOG chart, the last couple days, it is mostly up. Now, they're both large cap ETH memes with very similar communities. So is some of the money rotating from one coin into the other coin? Could be. You never know. Could be. What else do we have here? Back on the topic of SPX versus MOG, when you look at what is happening with SPX 6900, you realize MOG is diabolically undervalued, repricing imminent. So this is actually interesting because in the last 2 months, SPX and MOG are both up by identical amounts. SPX seems like the hot coin, and in the last couple weeks it has been, but in the last 2 months, they're both up exactly a 3.5x. So here's SPX. 2 months ago, it was at a $400 million market cap. Now it is at 1.45. That's right about a 3.5x MOG 2 months ago, it was at about 120 million market cap. Now it is at 395 or 400 million market cap. That is, again, just about a 3.5x. So it seems like SPX has been all the rage lately, but over the last 2 months, their gains are equal. Now, in the longer term outlook, both the SPX and MOG charts completely different. SPX, we know, has just hit a new all-time high, so it's the highest it's ever been right now. MOG is still about 75% off its all-time high of 1.6 billion set in December off the coveted Coinbase listing. Now, here's another interesting tweet right here. MOG and Pepe will be the best decision you'll ever make, blah, blah, blah. They're both ETH large cap memes. I might have to disagree with this because Pepe hasn't been nearly as hot as MOG as SPX on the 2-month time frame. Look at this. So remember, SPX was up 3.5x, as was MOG. Pepe is only doing a 2x tops. It went from 2 months ago about a 2.4 billion market cap right now to a 4.65 billion. So it's up a little bit less than 2x. And then it is also considerably off its all-time high, about 65%. So in conclusion, what I think is that both MOG and SPX have the advantage over Pepe because they are relatively newer. People are always looking for kind of the newer, shinier things in crypto. And then additionally, Pepe has lost some of its luster because it's already listed on Binance and Coinbase. So the intrigue, will that listing happen in the future, is gone. Whereas MOG still has to be listed on Binance. Hasn't happened yet. SPX still has to be listed on both. So I think that intrigue is definitely helping both of those coins, SPX and MOG, perform well as of late. Anyways, that's it for now. MOG Army, say hi, drop a comment down below, hit the like, subscribe button, say anything you want to say. I love hearing from you guys. Back with a new video. Ben Crypto signing out. Catch you later.